Trent. Fly low, don't die.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to eSTOL Appalachian Mountain Style. We are going to be doing some hot stole action today out in, I think it's upstate New York is what they call it. So we got beautiful Appalachian Mountain Stole. See the Sasquatch there on the field. Now, if you guys haven't picked up this yet, it is in the store for $4.99. It's as cheap as we could possibly make it for you guys. So everybody can get their stole practice in. The Xbox boys, everybody can. Beautiful shot of the field there. It looks like we've got a little bit of a crosswind blowing today. Not too bad. Personally, I like those orange and white wind socks the best. I think they give you the best luck when you're out on the stole field. So who are we going to think? Who are we thinking is going to win today? I'm thinking if we take a look at who we've got in the touring class, that's what we've got coming up first. Touring class. So you're going to see Wilga versus Wilga. It looks like we've only got Mark and Brown Dog going up at it. And that's a tough one because Mark and Brown Dog have both won. So I gotta say, Mark is the bigger veteran out of the two. So I gotta say Mark's gonna bring the heat, but Brown Dog won the last competition, I think. So it's a toss up, man. We're just gonna have to wait and see. That's why we're here, right? To watch it. So the Wilga is one of my favorite planes. If you guys fly a lot in the sim, the Wilga is one of my favorite planes. I mean, I get a lot of bush flying done in that. It's got a big engine in it. It's got big tires. It's really good for the bush. You can pick it up on got-friends.com. So today we're in Clarion, Pennsylvania. It's up in New York, upstate New York, and this is I think they did the real life eSTOL competition, or the real life STOL competition up there last last week, couple weeks ago, and so now we're doing it in the sim. Love this airport though. When you take off out of here, there's quite the valley that dips out. I think it's to the east side. So when you come out of here, it's just it opens up into a valley. It's really beautiful.
It was a really beautiful field while we were up there.
So anyway, today we have with us today casting. Sorry, I was having a couple little difficulties with my microphone. So anyway, we have Cam with us today. Cam is a real pilot. He What do you fly, Cam?
I've got a 1946 Aranca Champ. I actually flew it today. It was a great time. Weather's been great. Actually at the airport um, where I kind of flew out of, and then we went to Birds Adventure Center today.
Now that's Birds is in Arkansas, right?
Yeah, yeah. Birds is in.
Nice. It's beautiful flying up in Arkansas. I've never flown up there in real life, but I've flown up there in the sim. And actually, I flew up there with Justin Tisdale in the sim. We did like a pre-flight for one of his flights he was doing the next day. He was taking a group of like 10 guys out, and it was kind of neat. We actually helped him um, change his route based on what we saw in the simulator. So if you're not in the simulator often, it's getting to the point where it's like almost real life now. Speaking of almost real life, by the way, so the sponsor of the event today is brought to you by DOF Reality. Okay, so National eSTOL brought to you by DOF Reality today. I was really unaware of DOF Reality, and I met them at Expo, and I tried out one of their simulators. They said, "Hey, come on, try it out." So I tried it out, and I had there's a video of me online somewhere. I had so much fun with it. So that's what I'm saving up for now is a DOF Reality. The good thing is that they're actually the lowest cost full motion simulators that there is. So I won't have to save for too long, and I'll be getting me a DOF Reality full motion simulator. But yeah, you guys got to check them out. DOFreality.com. They're amazing. I mean, all I can say is I got in it. I could not quit smiling the entire time. So it looks like Barracus is up first, number 123. Barracus is physically located in England, and Barracus does all of our graphics for us, man. So big thanks to Barracus for doing all the eSTOL graphics. And it looks like we have the green flag, so Barracus is free to go. Looks like okay. So he does let the tail back down. I was gonna say it looks like a new takeoff. Usually the guys that are in the Wilga in the simulator are taking a different approach than what they would in real life. So real life, you see a Wilga take off from a 3-point stance because of those leading edge slats. But typically in the sim, we see him lift the tail up, kind of like he would on a 170. But he did let the tail back down, but then he brought it back up again. So let's see what. There we go. See that now? There's a 3-point takeoff. Brown dog in the National eSTOL livery. Man, what do you guys think? Should we bring those National eSTOL liveries to the official Microsoft Flight Sim store? If you guys want to see those in the official Microsoft Flight Sim store, we've been considering it. We don't know if we should. Let us know in the chats and on the Twitch and on the YouTube if we should bring those National eSTOL liveries for most of the bush planes in the sim. If we should bring them to the store. So some good takeoffs. I think I'm gonna say Brown Dog most likely took off first, or excuse me, took off second, but it took off in the least amount of time. So as the pilots are going around, we only have a couple pilots had to drop out of this class today, last minute. So we only have 2 in the class today. The rest of the classes are pretty packed up. But this one, I think that's why we're running this one first. But it's only 2 pilots today in the Wilgas. So if you're out there and you're wondering, hey man, what classes can I join in that's not super packed with a bunch of people that are like ripping the good STOL numbers? Well, there you go. Get in the Wilga, come into the touring class. It's real easy to get into eSTOL. We offer training for everybody that comes in, so make sure everybody feels comfortable getting into it, and it's a great experience. I mean, last night preparing for the event, many of us were hanging out in Discord, just talking, having a good time, flying around in the sim. It's a really cool atmosphere. So if you guys ever want to join in on that, go to nationalstol.com/chat, and that will be a great place for you to learn more about National STOL and National eSTOL. All right, so on final is Barricus coming in. He hasn't notched his flaps in yet. Oh, there he goes. So we're gonna notch the flaps. Seems as if he's coming in a little fast to me. Cam, does this seem fast to you?
Just a little fast.
Yeah,
For Wilga, at least.
It seems to. Yeah, it seemed a little fast, but I mean, he gave up, I don't know, 5 feet or so, and still ended up getting stopped. So, love the red tips on the end of that prop. By the way, Barricus, little tail wag from Barricus there as he taxis off the runway. Brown Dog coming on in as he notches in his first notch of flaps as he starts to slow down. A little bit of a slip there, most likely to account for the crosswind. There's just a slight crosswind here. We got any news on the wind here, Cam? Did you check the weather today?
I have not checked the weather today, but we can find out very quickly.
Still, it seems as if very close to the line. That may be a scratch. There may be a scratch. I mean, it definitely his tires shaved the grass a bit. Hard to tell though. It's hard to tell from that angle. That's why we have the judges. That's why me and Cam, we don't get paid that kind of money to be making decisions here on who scratches and who not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. So it looks like Brown Dog comes in with 222. Mark Hawkins, Barricus, 249. So a little bit of a spread there. Looks like about 27 points difference, but that's the first round. You know, a lot of times these guys, they'll get down a good score for the first round. They'll make sure they have something on the board. So, hey, both people got something on the board. There's no scratches in the first round. I'm surprised that wasn't a scratch from Brown Dog, but you know that's why they don't pay us the big bucks. not that Anov probably gets paid a ton for doing. We're all volunteers here, by the way. No one gets paid. We do it because we love it, guys. But anyway,
Yes, we do love it.
so, yeah. Now, Cam, how does that transfer over for you coming from the real world STOL? The real world STOL, and then kind of just like being abducted into this eSTOL world. And Barricus takes off in about 120 feet.
It's a pretty good transition. I mean, like we're lucky enough that Microsoft Flight Simulator looks so good right now, and all the work that Anov and everyone else has put in for the deliveries and for the actual venues, like everything looks pretty close. I mean, it's very hard to really differentiate sometimes. As
Well, you know what I'm
has
saying
showed
is
us, right? And as the FAA showed us too.
right. Yeah. No, and I'm wondering, when can we get Barrica's artwork on the center line? This looks like a dang football field at the Super Bowl. Man, I'm loving the takeoff out of
Yeah.
Brown Dog. What does Brown Dog know?
Oh,
What does he know? He's got to know something, because typically we would not see a 3-point takeoff out of everybody in the sim. And I know the first few eSTOL episodes, Eric Fairwell made a good point, and he said, "Hey, none of these guys in the real world, Wilgus, are taking off like this." And I said, "Well, maybe because they were running the 35X, which is semi-fictional aircraft. It's something that could be built, but it's something that I guess wasn't really built. But I mean, it had a 450 horsepower engine in it, so I thought, well, maybe that's why they're running the tail wheel up and cutting the grass, as you would say. But it looks like Brown Dog might have figured something out, because if he's scoring higher, well, it looks like they took his points off. Wow, we might have a little drama here. It looks like he may have scratched the first round. We'll have to wait and see on that. I love the flight shot. You would never know that's a video game. You would never know. There's people tuned in right now that are like, whoa, Bursix just broke my bubble. This is a video game?
I mean,
No way.
come on. The FAA could be tuned in right now and think that it's real. So,
Yeah, you got to watch too, because Twitch FAA hangs around. He tries to see. He doesn't really have any like federal power, but he does try. The Twitch FAA guy comes around every once in a while. By the way, shout out to my Twitch people over there. How are you guys doing over on Twitch? Twitch is my main platform where I stream, do a lot of bush flights, a lot of stuff like that. We do a lot of training for the eSTOL on there. So big shout out to the Twitch community. Those guys helped me build what I've been able to do so far, and it's helped a lot with eSTOL, as well as National STOL. Big help to eSTOL. DOF Reality, great new sponsor for eSTOL. Loved those guys at Expo. I was really excited when I got off of their simulator. I can't say the same for VR. I tried VR as well from a different station, and I got sick. So, yeah, and that was
yeah,
about
man.
5 minutes before you and I casted that. You remember that,
Yeah.
Cam? I come in the back
I
of the
do.
trailer like, I don't know if I could do this. Cam, you're on your
Oh,
own.
man.
It's your first
Yeah.
time, but you're fine. Oh, scratch from Barricus, but he saved it. No trouble there. No trouble. Ooh, terrible guitarist getting the hype train going on the Twitch. Thank you, terrible guitarist. Love for the eSTOL, man. Love for the eSTOL, terrible guitarist. You are the man. And guys, just so you know, we are live streaming in multiple places. So if you're on YouTube and you think I'm like talking to somebody, talking to nobody, I am talking to people over on the Twitch channel and YouTube as well. We're talking, vice versa. We're talking to everybody here. We try to take care of them all. Alrighty, gives up about 15 feet on the landing, but gets stopped really, really short. So still under 100 feet. It looks to be about 82, 83 feet. The lines are looking beautiful. The grass is looking beautiful. This looks so alive, And one of the cool things about this airport, too, is if you're an eSTOL fan, some of the pilots are actually in the scenery. I'm in the scenery. You have to look around and find me. 80K and Anov and DeWert, our camera guy. Our other camera guy, Vinny, we still got to get him in here yet. But just a ton of great people that help out with eSTOL. So we put them in the scenery just as a kind of a nod to them and to say thank you. So we still have only Mark Hocking up here, score of 249. But I am seeing over on another screen that Brown Dog did get a pretty dang good score for the last one. It's looking to be like 183. 183, that's really good. I think Brown Dog is on to something. I mean, he's not even stopping on the line. He's giving up 2 feet on the takeoff. He says, I don't care. He's got the new technique. Gas Can 2020 says, hoping y'all having a good day. Gas Can 2020, we are having a great day, man. Now that we got the couple little, I know I was having a couple little issues with my mic in the beginning, so Super Tom, I don't know what that countdown is, Super Tom, but that's pretty neat, man. So another good takeoff out of Brown Dog. So I'm kind of excited. I think we're going to be doing a group flight after the eSTOL competition, and I think I'm probably going to try to fly the Wilga and try this new 3-point takeoff. Now, Brown Dog is flying out of Southeast Kentucky. So if you want the American versus the European showdown, this is it right here. The touring showdown in the Wilga. Got Brown Dog from Southeast Kentucky. You got Mark Hawkins from Plymouth, UK. From Plymouth to Plymouth. Yeah, terrible. So his terrible guitarist is on the Twitch and he's asking about the technique. Well, so it seems like the technique that Brown Dog is using is one that you typically see real life with an airplane like the Wilga or just the Wilga in general, because the Wilga has that leading edge slat. So it's going to generate lift, just from a 3-point stance pretty well. So a lot of times you'll see a Wilga taking off like that. And, I actually learned that. It's something that transferred over from real life aviation to eSTOL. I learned that from Eric Farewell, who's one of the owners and operators of National STOL, along with Tom and the boys. It's a good band name, Tom and the Boys.
Tom and the Boys.
Maybe
But we can't forget about
maybe a little more to it. Oh yeah. Actually, it's actually Karen and the Boys. That's actually what the name of the band is. I'll tell you what though, when I went down, I met you, Cam, in Louisiana. We shared an Airbnb, compliments of National STOL. So we went down and volunteered, and Tom got all the media people. Tom and Karen got all the media people. Airbnb, hung out there, had a good time. Going to Vegas. I tell you what, man, if you ever have a chance to get out to a National STOL competition and you want to volunteer, a real life competition, you want to volunteer, check that list and find out if there's one near you, because you will have a lot of fun. It looks like we have a little bit over 100 landing, about 112, 113 for Barricus. So Barricus, he's not going crazy today, but he's not doing bad. I was kind of expecting Barricus to kind of lead the way today, because I've only ever seen Brown Dog compete once, but I think Brown Dog, I think he's got it in the bag. Barely gave up anything there, getting stopped in just about 82 feet, something like that.
Great landing.
83, 82. That's consistency too. Now our pilots get points for consistency as well. So if they stay consistent on their landings, they're going to get points based on their consistency. But anyway, back to what I was saying, though. We'll talk about the scores here in just a second. But back to what I was saying. If you ever get a chance to get out to a National STOL competition,
a landing of 94 feet.
Wow, 94 feet twice in a row. So he bested his takeoff. Takeoff 2 was 97. So let's go over it. Let's break this down. And I don't want to throw Mark Hawkins I don't want to throw Mark Hawkins' scores under the bus here. But we got to talk about Brown Dog and his new technique. I think people are watching that. I think they're going to be trying that next time. You're going to see everybody in the Wilga taking off from a 3-point stance. So you have Brown Dog here, takeoff 1, 106 feet, landing 1, 116 feet, right? Great score. That's a really good score. I mean, that's probably top all-time record score, close to it. You've got the next one, 97 and 94. And then the last one, he shaves about 6 feet off of that entire thing, 89 and 94. So 89-foot takeoff and 94-foot landing for Brown Dog. That's going to take home the touring class. And I swear, if we were at Expo, people would be hooting and hollering like they were when we were at Expo when NorCali and Cat were going up against each other. I couldn't believe that. I was pretty amazed to see everybody out there just hooting and hollering and having a good time at Expo. That was so cool, man. Speaking of Expo, DOF Reality, our good friends. Oh yeah, you got to hoot and holler every time you get a chance to. I mean, STOL is amazing. I remember the first time I saw a STOL competition. It was like some random like balloon pop thing. I don't even know what it was. It was just on YouTube, and I like shared the video on Facebook, and I was like mad at my friends for not somehow making me aware that this existed. And they don't, they didn't know it existed, but I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? What's going on here?
Yeah.
But speaking of Expo, the ultimate flight experience from DOF Reality, www.dofreality.com. That is an affordable full motion simulator, so everybody can be like Smitty. And when I say affordable, I mean it. Oh, Smitty, yeah, Smitty's always getting bruised up. I thought it was from something else, but no, it's after I saw the video of him in his simulator. Yeah, he's definitely. But it's crazy because that DOF Reality simulator, like I've never tried Smitty's, but I was really surprised at the price of the one I was in. It was like, I think it was $2,500, right? Smitty told me that his was close to $15,000 to $20,000 to build. And I was really surprised at how much that DOF Reality one moved, and it felt solid. It didn't feel, the price difference. You got to kind of wonder, like, what's the difference in the price here? But I think the thing is with DOF Reality is they're just, sourcing the materials, buying in bulk, and passing the savings on to grow their company and grow their name and pass the savings on to the customer. So I love it. So. Big round there, touring class. Brown Dog coming out of nowhere about 3 months ago. Came into my stream swinging his hair. He was saying, hey, I'm Brown Dog. I'm here to win. And here he is, man. Here he is winning. So congrats to Brown Dog. Lily Yoshimi in the Twitch chat says, nice to see Backcountry so full today. So much so, it's split into 2 heats. Well, let's talk about that. Cam, talk to us about the Bush class. What are we flying today in the Bush class? What aircraft are we seeing today out in the Bushcraft, and who's flying them?
I don't know, I might be a little bit delayed, but looks like we've got a 170B with Byron Bowman. We've got a 152, a 1981 152, that is. Got Ryan R. in a 2006 70. Let's see what else. We have a 170B 1987 with from John. Frankie Poops.
170Bs are hot.
He's got his one. Oh man, the 170Bs are super hot. Frankie Poops is in with the 1954 Cessna 170B. I think that's Aether Josh, if I'm not mistaken.
Aether Josh, I talked to him.
Aviat Husky.
And then Bryant Hull in the 1988 Cessna 152. Yep. Bryant Hull's coming back. I think Bryant Hull, I'm pretty sure he broke his wrist. He made this hat, actually. He's a young guy, student pilot, sells hats for money for pilot money. I think he broke his wrist and it hasn't flown in a while, but I wonder why he's flying the 152. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he knows something I don't know. But no, you were talking about Aether Josh. He's actually, he was an airline pilot for a little while, and now he does like transport pilot stuff. So I love to see, there's actually a lot of pilots in here that still currently fly or are recently retired. But there's a ton of pilots in the eSTOL world. And, like I said before, I can say it again, it's probably going to be like, people aren't going to be that shocked, but you save a ton of gas when you fly in the sim versus flying in real life. Yeah, you don't get the sensations, etc., but I mean, you can't really beat that when inflation's so dang high right now. I mean,
you really can't beat that, especially when you're able to fly in here and produce good habits or bad habits, and hopefully fix those bad habits. But you're producing good habits that when you go into a real cockpit, like you already have some familiarity, and hopefully those good habits transfer over. I know that the feelings are going to be a little bit different, but as far as the muscle memory and the buttons to push and the aircraft to use, like, it's really hard to beat.
Those beautiful aircraft taxiing by, and I totally agree with you. I think one of the coolest things about this is that you have a young guy. Two names that just pop up. You got Aether Josh. Aether Josh is he's still a young man himself. I'm sure he's still flying, still doing his thing. But he's a transport pilot. I think he said he's been flying for like 20 years. He does cargo and things like that. And then you got Bryant Hull right after that, who's still in flight school. And so, let's just say those two are doing a practice together in the Discord, which you often see all these pilots in the Discord practicing together. And Discord, if you guys don't know what that is, it's just a place where people hang out and pretty much voice chat and kind of just do whatever they're doing together. So, you get Brian Hull and Aether Josh in there, two different, both pilots, but in two different aspects, on two different times and, throughout a pilot's lifespan. And I think, Aether can bring a lot of a lot of tips and things into a young pilot like Bryant Hull's life, and they're just doing it in the simulator. They're just flying around together in the simulator doing some practice for eSTOL for competition. But I think the life lessons and the tips that you could learn from someone that's been flying for 20 something years like Josh, I think it's really cool. And it's not just not only Josh, there's other people too. So Bryant Byron Bowman taking off in the 170B. Byron, I gotta say, I really got a lot of stock in him this week. He has been practicing, and he has been, talking about his plane, living, breathing, eating, sleeping his plane. He's got his Twitch stream. He's, flying around from Oshkosh. Been flying with him a little bit on the stream and stuff like that. So he's really been flying that 170B. I think I got dibs on Brian to win this one. No offense to anybody else.
Oh,
touched back down.
got a little.
And we had the Magic Nets catch the 152. Was that Lily? Because I thought Bryant was in the 152, but
Yes, that's Lily.
see Brown Dog in the Twitch chat. Congrats, Brown Dog. Hey, you came out of nowhere, man, and you're kicking a lot of behind, brother. Good job. Barracus, you'll get them next time, man. Hey, I think this is the first time we've seen this 172 compete. Ryan R in the 172. I think Ryan R. Is that Terrible Guitarist? I think that might be Terrible Guitarist. Yeah, Brown Dog's takeoffs in the. I hate to keep talking about Brown Dog, but man, his takeoffs in that one in the Wilga. I'm gonna have to talk with him and see where did he get the idea to start taking off like they do in a real world, because everybody in the sim for as long as I know has been doing it like, with nose down takeoff.
With the wheel landing, or with the wheel takeoffs, basically. Nose down, like you were saying. Because I was wondering, because, the Wilga is spinning a huge prop out the front. So, the 3-point takeoff is how it should be done, but it's been interesting to see what happens in the STOL, in the sim life.
Well, see,
or in the sim world.
And sometimes, right, and sometimes you got to wonder, like, is the plane different than it is in real life? But with Got Friends making the Wilga, that's where I had that disconnect of like everything they make is like ultra realistic. You got gravel, you got gravel on flight models and stuff, and gosh, the work he's doing is amazing. I do beta testing on a lot of stuff, and tell you what, man, I'm beta testing something that he's doing right now, and wow, can't really talk too much about it. I'm not officially on NDA, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. But I can say that Gravel does a great job. So with the Wilga, he did the Wilga flight model, and I'm thinking, well, I wonder why you wouldn't take off 3-point, but I think Brown Dog's just kind of busted that myth. So let's see here. Scopalicious says that was a smooth takeoff in the 172. People chiming in from the Twitch. Should probably actually check on the YouTube and see how the YouTube's doing. How's YouTube doing, guys? Got Red Baron over there. Got Katrina. Becky. I think that's Trucker Becky, probably NorCali's mom.
All right, nice. Just gave up a little bit of space, but it was a nice
Got to
landing
stop
overall.
short,
Just
though.
plopped it in. Yes, absolutely.
So Bryant Hull, competing in the 152, said he's flying the 152 because he's used to a 150M. Maybe that's a typo. I'm not sure. Or maybe it says right now. My eyes might not be that good, but either way, I think he's saying he's used to a 152 in real life, so it's just something familiar. Yeah, because he hasn't flown
Nice.
in the sim in a while. That's what happens when you break your wrist, you know? Wow, that 172 looks great.
It's got to be awful.
So Grumpy Cat says Westmoreland County Air Show KLBE August 17th and 18th, 2024, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. 15650 APRA Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. Interesting. Anybody's near that, be a great show to go to, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You should go every time. If you have any opportunity to be around airplanes, you should always do it, even if they're not flying.
Bit of a scratch out of the
Oh, is that a
172 there, but
scratch?
we'll take it. Yeah, he landed on the eSTOL, so it seems to me it would be a scratch, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I would say a lot of people kind of have a lot of people, I think maybe they don't really understand how nice or how willing to fly most people in the aviation world are. So like I once had a pilot tell me he was actually his name is Pilot Potter. That's what he goes by. And he's going to get his ATP, and he taught me a lot of stuff flying in the sim. Taught me how to fly with my instruments. Taught me, how to fly when you can't see anything outside of the windows. But he was telling me, just go to the airport, look for the first guy or gal washing or waxing or wiping their aircraft down, and just say, hey, you want to go for a ride? And he said, I guarantee you, they want to go for a ride just as bad, if not more than you do, and they'll take you up. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. So you got to remember that kind of stuff. Get out to an air show. I mean, you look at Bryant Hull. He flew the single ender. I can't remember what the name of it is, but the double ender's little brother, the single ender, whatever the name of that plane. You know what I'm talking about? You know the double ender?
Yep.
Oh, the Ascender. That's what it's called. The Ascender.
There we go.
Yeah, so he flew the Ascender. And Byron Bowman digging into the grass there. Nice takeoff. Looks like the wind's really blowing him around today. He must have his tires filled up with helium.
Some dirigible tires.
Looks like Lily Yoshimi is DQ'd for going off the runway. That's unfortunate, but it does happen from time to time. 172 making it look easy.
It's a very nice takeoff.
That
Very
sounds
textbook.
good too. The sounds.
Oh yeah.
Katrina on the YouTube chat says the Ascender. Norcali says, actually, I don't know if I should get into that conversation. You guys, I don't know. Norcali and Kat are talking about cat food again. If you remember from Expo when Kat said she was going to put cat food in Norcali's shoes as a punishment, and we're like, why would that be a punishment? I mean, cat food's expensive. I got like 3 cats to feed. Put all that cat food you want in my shoes. My cat will eat it.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out if we were going to do wet food or just the kibbles.
That's great to see those guys. Yeah, that's what they're talking about too, Cam. That's great to see those guys talking about that on the YouTube. Hey guys, if you've never been, what's that, Cam?
Oh, I was just going to say that we do have weather. Looks like the winds are 270 or 8 knots out of the 270. So, I don't know which way our runway's going
not too
right
bad.
now.
So wind's coming out of the west, and it's about 8 knots. I mean, it looks like a crosswind. It looks like almost a direct crosswind.
Okay. Yeah.
So So I was gonna say, if you guys love this, if you're on the Twitch, if you're on the YouTube, if you love eSTOL, if you love STOL, make sure you tell all of your friends about it. Um, you don't want anybody like me when I found out about STOL and I was posting on Facebook just to my random friends, not even aviation people, just like, why didn't anybody tell me about this? So somebody's gotta tell everybody about this because it's too good to miss. And if you can see the sign in the background there, the wanted sign, we do have a help wanted sign up around the Appalachian STOL scenery. And so eSTOL is looking for some helpers. If you guys want to get involved, nationalstol.com/chat. That'll get you in the Discord. Reach out to one of us and say, hey, I want to get involved. Byron Bowman dropping those flaps.
Dropping those flaps, we see that.
This is
Just
a custom
dragging
livery
her
that he
in,
made.
too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's almost flying. He's almost flying. He's got to only be going like 30 knots or so. Add a little power.
Yeah,
Add a little
we
power there.
probably get a good hover out of that. There we
Added
go.
a little too much, probably. Looks like he may have added a little too much, but that's okay from time to time. So talking scores, currently it looks like Byron Bowman's in the lead. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure that I see all the scores here. Unless, I guess there's 9 people that probably split up into 2 heats. I mean, I know they're split up into 2 heats, but I guess they probably did it like 3 and 6 or something like that, because they like to have 6 guys run. Nice landing in a 172. Yeah. Cam, did you catch the distance on that? It looked to be about 200 or so.
Yeah, 256 feet, it looks like, from the 172.
Just want to give a big shout out to everybody who's here viewing today, hanging out in the chat. Make sure you guys are hyping it up. Don't forget to thumbs up on that YouTube video. That helps get us out to the algorithms and show us to all the other people that could be interested in STOL out there. So make sure you guys get that big thumbs up on the YouTube video. Get the emotes rocking, comments, all that stuff. Talking about cat food like cat nor Cali, anything. All of it's good.
I'm going to need some cat food here in a second.
Now, I see Outside Bad there on the Twitch channel, and Outside Bad is someone who was with the STOL competitions very early on. He always used to compete, and I think it's kind of a time zone thing with him.
Nice.
But man, it would be great to see him come back and fly with us again.
That was a very fantastic takeoff from Byron. 67
Tell me about
feet.
it. What did he? Ooh, 67 feet.
That's the number to beat. I mean, he definitely just put it out there just now.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I knew he was going to come hot, come into the competition hot, because he's been just practicing nonstop. Man, I'm really liking the look of that 172. I might actually, that's a freeware plane. I might actually hop into that and fly that afterwards.
It's a very good looking bird.
Terrible Guitarist on the Twitch chat says, I hit you guys up about volunteering. My internet isn't consistent enough to compete, but would love to be involved. No, that's something that I think Terrible
horrible right now.
Is it? Yeah. I see. That's one thing I don't usually have a trouble with.
It's not fair for me though, I guess, because I'm on my MiFi right now at the Russellville Airport in Russellville, Arkansas. We've been flying all day today, and I didn't get a chance to make it to the house for the broadcast. But I'm here. It's bright and sunny, and I'm actually looking at my airplane right now, and it feels really good to see that plane after I've been flying it today.
So what kind of plane are you flying, Cam?
Flying a 1946 Aranca Champ, 90 horse. It's been good to me. It was really good getting in and out of the mountains today, or what we call mountains, but we weren't really that high. I think the highest I flew today was 2,500. So it's been
Yeah,
really good. Today was my
it's
first cross country solo in the aircraft, so
oh
that's been really
nice,
good.
cool,
Yeah,
man. Congrats on that. That's awesome.
yeah. Thank you.
I think so if I'm not mistaken, Hangar Studios is building a Rocket Champ. That's a flapless aerobatic aircraft, somewhat, right?
The Citabria is the aerobatic version, but there are some light aerobatics, some gentleman aerobatics that you can do in the Champ. But yeah, it is a flapless aircraft. I'm hoping someone's making one right now because the J3 gets way too much love. We need Champs and we need Luscombs and we definitely need Taylorcraft.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we finally got a decent J3 in the sim from one of our sponsors, Classic Aircraft Simulations. So that is, it's been a long time coming. So, but you're right. The Cubs, any Cub. I mean, just Cub. It's a Cub world out here. It's a Cub world. I mean, Cubs are just all over the place. And
Unfortunately, it
so Hangar
is.
Studios. Yeah, yeah. But it's a great aircraft. It's a great model to build from. So I think that's why people do it. But Hangar Studios is building the. I'm pretty sure it's an Aranca Champ he's building. I mean, we'll have to find out, but I'm pretty sure it's what he's doing. Oh, Hangar Studios is making the Super Decathlon. Says Blitz. Ooh,
Oh yes.
dropping it in. Red Baron swinging his hair like he just don't care.
Yeah. And that's a 98-foot landing. So right now, Byron should be in the lead
Yeah, with
with a
that
total of
takeoff of 67
165. Yeah, we got a combined total of 165 feet.
coming in is the 172. I don't know why, but that wing reminds me of like a bat, like a bat dropping in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Not bad on the landing there. 102, 103. Oh, so there's a Twitch streamer and new flight sim developer named Radhole. Great guy. I know him. Watch his stream. Super cool dude. And he's actually working on an Aranca Champ. So that's cool. We do have one coming.
oh, very cool. Okay,
Fran,
awesome. Yeah, because the
Fran flights
decathlon's
over on the.
cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and they're similar, right? Because they're both flapless. See, that's the one thing too. Is like the Aranca Champs, the Citabrias, the Balancas, or whatever they are. All those are kind of confusing to me too. I come from the helicopter world, so I've only ever, as far as real life aviation goes, I've only ever flown an Enstrom F-28 and an Enstrom F-28C, which is a small piston engine helicopter. So when
Oh man,
I
we
learned
love the
everything
Instrom
I know.
helicopters.
They're nice. They're really nice. I mean, even the one I was flying was like a 78 and 78 and a 79. Those were the years, and I mean they were great aircraft. But that's all I know. I didn't know anything about fixed wing aviation. I thought that bush planes were only for pulling banners around that tell you about the deal going down at the local car dealership. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So Fran Flights over on the Twitch says try the scrapyard plane. Fran, I've flown the scrapyard plane a ton, man. When it first came out, I reached out to the developer, and since I have had a real good relationship with him, actually, we had National STOL, Tom and Karen and everybody from National STOL, and me and Cam. We all actually had dinner with the developer, Lord Freitz. We had dinner with him in Vegas at Expo. He's a great dude. He's working right now on a Gabriel. And he's just recently released the XF11. He's been a sponsor of National eSTOL in the past as well. But yeah, we love the Scrapyard Monster. Unfortunately, we don't. It is banned. It is banned in the sim. But there's a lot of aircraft banned in the sim. I mean, banned in our eSTOL competitions. So it's not just the Scrapyard Monster. I mean, we even had to ban the double ender. It is what it is. We banned that. We banned the smog from Flying Dive. We had to ban that. Some aircraft
What
are
about the
just
Savage?
too
Is the
wild.
Savage Cub? Or is it the
Savage
Ultra
Cub is
Shock
still out.
that's
Oh yeah, there's Lynn. Yeah, the Ultra Shock. Yeah, that's banned as well. When I saw a cat flying backwards and landing backwards one day in that plane, I said, "There's no way that it was like zero knots of wind." Yeah, Brown Dog says the Wilga is an amazing build from Got Friends. Easily my favorite to fly in and out of eSTOL. Yeah, the Wilga is one of my favorite too. Definitely one of the greatest aircraft of all time for flight sim. Got-friends.com/burstix, BURSTIX, or use that code at checkout and get yourself a Wilga. NorCali. Did you NorCali on the Twitch talking about Frankie Poops' brother? I saw that the other night, NorCali. I was pretty amazed. I love the conversation between everybody on the Twitch and the YouTube and stuff. It's great to see everybody out there just in the chat, talking, hooting and hollering, messaging in and out of the chat. Love to see it. So good job to Red Baron Flies. It looks like he takes the lead of that heat. There's still one more heat to go. So we have John Coughlin, Frankie Poops, Aether Josh, and Brian Hull all coming up next as John taxis up. John is he's a flight sim developer, so he developed turn-based Warbird game. I think it says it right there on the side of his thing. I think it's called Stormbirds, and on the side of his plane there. So he's a flight sim developer and new to the eSTOL channel, but a great addition. Been super fired up about it. He was trying every plane leading up to this. I mean, I love the guy's. He's got a lot of ambition for this, and I like to see it. Great takeoff. From Social, we have JD said it's airplane time, baby.
It's airplane
You got it, JD.
time. Love it.
Squirrel says bought the Wilga last month and had to take lessons from NorCali to fly it correctly. Definitely, NorCali is a great person to learn from. Now he doesn't fly the STOL professionally the Wilga professionally in eSTOL, but he knows how to fly it, guarantee it. So great person to learn from. And a great takeoff from Frankie Poops.
Yeah. Love that 3-point takeoff. 89 feet
Ribbon
on that
blue.
one.
Ooh, 89 feet. All right. Yeah, I'm glad to see Frankie take off. And because he's had a little bit of trouble the last few rounds, last few competitions. So Frankie's got to get some points on the board. I know he's got it in him. He taught me how to fly, so I know he's got it in him. And Aether Josh. Ooh. Seemingly great takeoff from Aether Josh. I think it was just over 100 feet or so. I think someone in the chat had just I got sidetracked because the takeoff was so good, but I think it was someone who said, "Let's go, John." So someone's out there rooting for John. Typically, we see a lot of "Let's go, Frankie," and I think we're already seeing that over on the Twitch, probably going on the YouTube as well. And Brian Hull from Charlottesville, North Carolina, I think.
Oh, it looks like he hit the
In the
brakes a little
152.
bit, but it's okay.
A little longer of a takeoff, but he's getting back in from breaking his wrist. He said he just wants to take it easy. He's used to the 152 for now, so that's what he's going to do. Yeah, squirrel. When you're flying that Wilga, the overheating thing it gets me too every once in a while. But I learned from Frankie actually to keep the cowlings at about 70. And if you keep them at about 70, you should be good. Both of the cowlings at 70, 60, and it's great.
Are you talking about cowl flaps?
Yeah, there's cowl flaps, and then there's I think oil cooler flaps. I can't remember exactly what the other name of it is. Yeah, both of them have 0 to 100% in the flight simulator. So I've found if you keep them at 60 to 70, that's where they're going to be cool enough where you don't overheat.
Yeah, I think What you're talking about is on the M14 engine. If it's, I'm pretty sure it's the M-14. That if you look at it from the front, sometimes you'll see that it has. You don't get to see all the cylinders like you'd normally see on the rotary or the radial engine, and that's those flaps that you're talking about. They can be controlled to where you can see them basically, and then you can't see them, and it has this nice fan effect when you're looking directly head on with the aircraft.
Yeah, they spin and kind of close off the holes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice. Yeah. So
It's a really
Squirrel
cool aesthetic.
seems. Yeah, I love it. I love the way it looks. And if you gotta close them up to keep the cool in. Maybe it's too cold. You got to close them up, etc. But most time, leaving them open, I think is going to be the best bet unless you're flying up in Canada or Alaska. So Squirrel
Absolutely.
over on the Twitch chat says is looks pretty excited about STOL. So Squirrel, if you want to join in the competition, man, I would suggest just coming on in. We've had so many new people. Brown Dog, who just won touring class, he was a brand new flyer. I think the last competition before this one, and I think he won that one, and I think he won this one too. So I think he's got 2 competitions under his belt, possibly 3, and he just came right in and started flying with us. So we'll do any training you need. There's 6 weeks between events. Go to nationalstol.com/chat. That'll get you all the information you need to join our competitions here.
Looks like John gave us a landing of 259 feet, and then we had a go around from Frankie Poops, possibly.
Keeping her safe.
Yeah, we definitely want to advocate for go arounds. You should never feel like you shouldn't have the opportunity to do go around if you need to.
Oh, high angle of attack. He's really getting that thing. Really getting that thing
Yeah, trying to
down.
slam it down.
Yeah, I mean he's basically using the wing as an additional part of the flap. I mean, I love
Yeah.
to see how everybody flies. I love to see how people maneuver their plane for STOL because it's just so much more. It's so much more. I guess
Dynamic.
use. Yeah, dynamic, but
I mean-
it's like thrifty. You got to be thrifty when you're flying STOL.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're working with, but dynamic too, exactly. But yeah, you got to be thrifty when you're flying STOL because, you don't have a lot of feet to land.
True. And when you're on approach, I mean, it's completely different from just a normal, regular approach where you have all the time. You've got a whole mile, like everything's ready and set for you. And you just pull the power when you've made the field. And it's not exactly the same type of approach here.
No. Yeah, gone are the days of pushing your glasses up and pulling out the pilot manual. We don't, we don't follow the rules of the pilot manual exactly in STOL. It might say you need 3,000 feet to land a certain plane, but it's kind of like beating the GPS. You know what I mean? Like when you're driving in a car and you're trying to beat the GPS, kind of like that.
You know what's funny is trying to beat the GPS when you're flying. Like when you've got 4 flight up and you're like, I'm going to beat this. And well, a lot of times you don't end up beating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go. Oh, scratch from Frankie.
Oh, no.
He says, still gonna stop, making sure his brakes still work.
Yeah. Yeah, props to Frankie for stopping. In the live version of National STOL, a lot of pilots when they scratch, they won't stop, and it actually hurts them because there's a consistency score that even if you do scratch, stopping, if you stop at a certain point, that score still gets called, and then as far as the consistency goes, you can either win the consistency award or you can come close, but a scratch doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to walk away with something.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if you're, let's say the class is light this week or that week, and you never know, the other 2-3 guys might scratch every round. So at least getting some points on the board,
Yeah, we actually saw
John
that.
Coughlin. little bit of a glitch there in the sim. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. It's just kind of like an internet spike, I guess you would say, or some kind of disconnect. But he's off. I tell you what, that livery looks good. That livery looks really good. I'm gonna have to download that one. I don't even fly the 170B, but I'm gonna download it just because it's so
hard
pretty.
to beat a polished aircraft. It's really hard to beat.
I think that's kind of like the style with the 170B, you know, is like that that polished silver or chrome look. The Marlboro Man, Frankie Poops, number 36, getting the tail up.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good takeoff from Frankie. Just over 100, probably 120, 130 or so. Cleaning up the aircraft and flying off into the sunset. Yeah, so I think one of the most unique and really profound things about eSTOL for me was when I actually so I don't compete. I used to, but I don't compete anymore because I'm doing a lot of the back end stuff and working with the team. So, and another good takeoff, around 120, 130 for the Husky. Ether Josh, real life pilot, flying in the simulator. So one of the most profound things, though, that I found was that when you actually get into the pattern, I got into the pattern with 5 or 6 guys and gals the other day, and they're all in a channel, simulating being on the radio, and they're all talking and getting direction from the air boss, and it really does. I mean, you got to keep timing. I'll explain to you guys the timing here in a minute. And Bryant Hole pulling the aircraft off the ground somewhere around 200 feet. Squirrel on the Twitch says that Miss Poops might be biased. Yes, Squirrel. Don't let her fool you. That is Frankie's wife. Real sweet lady. I met her at Flight Sim Expo, and it's like when you see Frankie and Miss Poops together, they're like that couple that you know that they're meant to be together. You know what I mean? Like they just look like that. They look like a couple that was like meant to be together. It's weird. You see a lot of couples throughout, like, traveling and things like that, and it's not all the time that you see that where it's just like these guys, you wouldn't even know that they were married, but you would know. You know what I mean? Not almost like they kind of look like each other, but they don't look like each other at all. It's just kind of like how that works, you know. Miss Poop says she's rooting for everyone. I don't know if I believe her. I think she's rooting for Frankie. No, she probably is rooting for everyone, I'm sure. And looks like the shot stopped on DeWert there. DeWert is our real-life drone pilot for the simulator. He does the camera there on the starting line. And I can't remember where DeWert's from. I know he's from across the pond. I know he's from Europe somewhere, but I can't remember exactly which country DeWert's from. But that's the other thing I like about eSTOL is that it kind of brings together people from different nations all over the world. We have pilots from, all kinds of different continents. Frankie is my BFF. That's good. That's awesome. That's really awesome. So coming in, John Coughlin in the 170B. This livery is it actually might knock out my other favorite 170B livery because I'm really digging the blue. And we got someone cheering for John, Utah Pioneer, cheering for John over on the Twitch channel. And guys, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget, if you're on Twitch, oh, we got a little bit long of a landing. It looks like he's having a little bit of desync there. No big deal. It happens in the flight simulator. Now, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you guys like the channel, follow the channel so you guys get notifications when we go live. I do bush flights and stuff like that during the week, and then about 4 nights a week we do bush flights and different kind of things. Been flying actually the 727 lately, new from FSS. And good landing out of Frankie, about 160, 100 and 150, 160. Somewhere around that. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe over there and hit that thumbs up button. It gets the video out to more people so we can share the love of STOL to more people, man. There's a lot of people that don't know about it yet. And they got to know about it. I don't know if they're going to call that a scratch. They might call that a scratch. He did add power in. He might have just skimmed the grass a little bit. But... You know what, Scopa? Scopalicious is the one person I know that could make a decent modification to a plane that is locked up. The only person I know that's done it. I'm sure there's other people that have done it, but you know, that Husky could use some love, Scopa. I don't mean to fill your plate up even more. I know you're busy working on that X-Cub. And the 152 coming in. Brian Hull, real-life pilot, flying out of Charlottesville. I thought it was North Carolina. Now I'm not sure. There could be Charlottesville, somewhere else. Not sure. But he's flying out of Charlottesville, nonetheless. Might get it stopped in under 200 here. Really good control for the 152. It's not a super STOL aircraft by any means. So, you know, Bryant getting the landings down in about 200 feet or so. That's really good for the aircraft. Really good for the aircraft. So, as we watch these guys taxi around, I wanted to explain to everybody how the heats work. All right, so if we have a heat of 6 pilots, right? You'll see them line up. Number 1 pilot gets on here, waits for the Airbus to tell him he's got a green flag, and then he goes once he's told he's got a green flag. And then immediately after John will take off here, you'll watch the next pilot pull up, and then 30 seconds after John takes off, that next pilot can then take off. And they've got to keep that 30-second spacing because we want to make this round take 3 minutes, and that way. And John with a really nice grass mower takeoff. John's lawn company, except for his lawnmower, he uses a 170B. But so we keep the pattern of 6 people. We keep them 30 seconds apart. That way, when the first person is about to land, the first person that took off is about to land, the last person in the heat is about to take off. Frankie Poop's digging into the grass and pulls up off the ground. Nice controlled flight. Frankie's really, really doing well today. I know he's had a little bit of trouble the last couple rounds. It happens from time to time. Sometimes, some days you just aren't feeling it, but really great flight out of Frankie today. Nor Callie over on the Twitch channel says he sees a Frankie and John C battle. I can see it. So Fat American Trucker on the Twitch channel says, "How does one get into this group and join eSTOL?" I got your information right there, Trucker. There you go, buddy. Nice takeoff from Aether Josh in the Husky. Still waiting for Scope. Ah, there he goes. He says, "I'll throw a scoop in after we get the first decent iteration of the X-Cub performance mod out. Airpack 1 has done an incredible job at taking some ideas and rebuilt the Husky mod." Oh, definitely, Scope. You know, I forgot about that Airpack mod. I would have to check it for, you know, accuracy, because I know Airpack does a really great job on everything he does, but I know in one of his mods he said that it doesn't account for realism. He was just having fun with it. So I don't know if that was the one, but Airpack's actually the one who really got me introduced into the entire world of flight sim. Really, really integral part of my flight sim experience was talking to Airpack in the early days. Still talk to him to this day. All right, so as the pilots come around, we're gonna be seeing John come in on landing. I think, is that John right there? I don't think that. I think that's the Husky. Gotta be Josh. There's John. That's gotta be John right there.
Okay, yeah.
Seemingly a little high.
Oh, he's definitely gonna have to slip it in.
Yep, he's definitely gonna have to use that body of that plane and make it catch some wind for him. But John, who's in the lead right now? We gotta see this. We gotta see this. Byron Bowman's still in the lead by quite a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody's gonna be able to beat Byron Bowman's score. I mean, he's really practiced, like I said. Don't forget, Byron is in. Just because he was in the heat before this, they're all going against each other. All the points will be added up and at the end here. So it's looking like Frankie scores really good. If Frankie gets a short landing here, if Frankie lands in 80 feet, he could beat Red Baron's score. Frankie, you got to land in 80 feet. Miss Poops, you got to yell to the other room and tell Frankie he needs to get 80 feet.
Let's go, Miss Poops.
Here we go. We got a landing from John. It's safe. He held it off a little too long, though. Otherwise, he would have scratched, so he had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to. I mean, if he didn't hold on that long, he would have scratched. Beautiful shot there, man. That looks great. Looks great.
So that was a
Frankie.
landing. Wow. So that last round was a takeoff of 101 feet and a landing of 101 feet for John.
Great work out of John.
Yeah.
Frankie, giving up about 40. Yeah, it's not going to be the 80 feet he needs to get that to take that lead over Red Baron.
It's going to be 146, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like I said, it's going to be hard to beat Red Baron's scores. It's going to be really hard to beat it. And Red Baron, I think, has finally unlocked the secret of how to land short in the 170B. So, who's missing today? Wechter, Wasser. Where's Mr. Wasser today? It's the first competition I haven't seen him in months. Ether Josh coming in the Husky. Really, really high angle of attack. Oh man, wow, he's almost going straight up and down with that thing. You got to use everything you can, and if you want to turn your wings straight forward, that's going to give you a lot of drag. So good. That's what you need to do, I guess.
That is the aerodynamic braking of the century.
Oh, yeah. Once 52 coming in, kind of slamming it down. Still going to be out there in the 150 to 160 range for Bryant Hull. I think he'll be satisfied. He's flying the plane he wants to fly. But I know Bryant, and I know he's really competitive. So I think if we see him fly in the next competition, I'm pretty sure we'll probably see him in something a little more competitive than the 152.
Yeah, so that's going to be
maybe not.
A landing of 176 for Bryant for a combined total of 374 on that last one. So it looks like Red Baron won that round.
Wow, nice taxi out of John. That's gorgeous. That plane definitely needs a runway show, just like we saw there. So Byron Bowman, congrats, man. Another win for Byron Bowman. This is probably Byron Bowman's usually in the top 3, but this has got to be, I think, his second or third first place. So congrats to Byron. Real life pilot, A&P mechanic, real big supporter of eSTOL. I mean, the guy's always talking about it. He's always helping everybody out. So real great person to take, and well deserved to take the lead there. Byron Bowman out of Kentucky, my favorite state in the Union. 67 foot on the takeoff, 83 foot on the landing. Then we have next up Ether Josh in Husky, 91 and 103. Surprising. That's good. That's great. Josh, great job in the Husky.
Really good.
John Coughlin, this is his first competition in the 1987 Cessna 170B, 99 foot takeoff, 101 foot landing. for 202 feet altogether. Frankie Poops with 89 and 140 for 235. Brian R, 166 and 203 for 369 in fifth place. Bryant Holden at 152, 184 and 176 for 374 total. And I think this is Ryan's first time. So welcome, Ryan. I think this is his first competition. So thanks for being here. We'll go to a quick commercial break. And we'll see you guys in a minute for some more STOL action.
Let's get it.
Welcome back to National eSTOL Appalachian Mountain STOL, brought to you by DOF Reality Full Motion Simulators. Check them out at dofreality.com. I know they're beautiful because I rode in one of them. And I'll tell you what, that F-18, when you do it, you wouldn't believe it, but when you do a roll in a full motion simulator in an F-18, your brain is tricked so well that you actually feel like you did a roll. I'm saving up for one. I don't know. And the good thing about it is too is they're very price. The price on them is so good compared to anything else you could get. So definitely when I save up the little bit of money I need to save still for the DOF Reality, I'm gonna be getting me a motion simulator.
I mean, especially if it's gonna have an F-18 or involves a Legacy Hornet at all. The Hornet is just such an awesome aircraft.
Oh yeah, I'll be flying all kinds of jets, all kinds of STOL aircraft, you know. Appalachian Mountain STOL. This is the unlimited class, brought to you by Parallel 42. Looks like we have Pete C, Zach Lobert, Luke Carrier, Bradley Payne, Norcali J, and Cat Blue Flame. See a couple Kit Foxes out here, some Monster NX Cubs, the Zenith, of course, 2 people in the Zenith, and then Norcali in his classic Carbon Cub. Savage Carbon. So it's a Savage Cub, and with some, I think it's 29-inch bush wheels on it. Really nice plane. Norcali likes to fly that one. I think exclusively. We have the Got Cheese livery. That is our buddy from Wisconsin, Germantown, Wisconsin, Aaron Thays. And in the 701, the yellow 701, that's, can't tell whose name that is, but I don't think it's Cat because Cat has her own livery. And another Kit Fox.
701 is going to be Luke Carrier, I believe.
Luke Carrier, yeah, Shader. I thought he had his own livery at one point, but maybe not.
It does say it should be a custom livery.
We get lots of carbon fiber on the Savage Cub, says Norcali. We can call it a Carbon Cub. Definitely. Probably makes it lighter too, right? Carbon fiber is a light, heavy-duty material. Frankie's already cheering for Norcali. And we have Pete, sponsored by Parallel 42. He's a pilot that is sponsored by the developer Parallel 42. Parallel 42 doing a lot of great work for eSTOL. We really appreciate Parallel 42 making beautiful planes to compete and doing a lot of stuff underneath, behind the scenes. We can't talk about it right now, but pretty soon we'll be able to talk about some of the stuff that Parallel 42 is working on, and it's going to help bring eSTOL even further along.
All right, we got the green flag now.
Rocking the wigwags, Pete C. Now, this guy's, the unlimited class is kind of like the penultimate class. I mean, it's the class that everybody's waiting for. It's my favorite class. You get to see things like this, you know, a Kit Fox without a cowling, no doors, just taking off almost to outer space. Can't wait to see how this Kit Fox performs. I think this is the second competition that it's been around. Great takeoff.
Yeah. Beautiful takeoff.
Probably under 40 feet at least.
You called it. That is going to be 19 feet.
19 feet. So it looks like we do have a little livery mismatch here, just so everybody is on the same page. The livery that you just saw switch, the yellow plane and this plane here are the exact same plane. Just a little bit of a livery mishap with the simulator. It happens sometimes. That's what happens when you have 5 different planes with the same exact ICAO and nobody willing to change the ICAO. So.
And that was a 42-foot takeoff from, that's the Got Cheese aircraft, is it? Is it not?
We need to write our local congressman and tell him we need the ICAOs changed in all those Cub aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator so we can actually see the model matching correctly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was a very short takeoff.
That's the 701.
26 feet.
You know, this plane here was one of the very first planes. I think it actually was the first payware plane for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 from SWS. They have sponsored us in the past. Great sponsor, great developer. It's kind of crazy, though, because you get in that 701 being the first plane in this sim that's been around for over 4 years now, almost 4 years now. And great takeoff out of the Kit Fox. But it still looks better than, you know, almost probably, I would say, a good 40 to 50% of the things that developers are putting out today. SWS does not lack in that department, though. When they put out something, they do a good job on it. They work hard on updates and everything else like that. That's why I love SWS. They really do have a beautiful plane.
And Bradley Payne with a 58-foot takeoff. So, I mean, this field is extremely competitive. It doesn't really matter what aircraft you're flying, it seems like. Everyone has the same chance, it seems, at least on takeoffs. We'll see what happens with the landings.
Scopalicious says he's the first developer to bring the ICAO problem to light and fix it for us. The X-Cub Performance Mod. So the Easy Riders X-Cub for Flight Simulator 2020, a freeware plane. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow, that was awesome.
I've never seen that technique. I'm gonna have to get on a call with Pete after this to figure out that technique, because that's great. I love flying the Kitfox, and I've not been able to figure out that was great. So he came in kind of high, and then he at the last minute kind of set it down into the flaps. Interesting. I gotta call Pete. Gotta call Pete after this.
60-foot landing for a combined score of 79 feet.
And he needs that. He needs that, because I did some testing on the 701 this weekend, and I was getting combined of 100. So he needs, and I'm not the best. So really short landing. Only gave up a little bit there. One of the things with the nose wheel aircraft that you can kind of slam them down, and it's kind of one of the things that we're working on. So we're working on something, and I can't really say much about it, but we're working on something to we'll be able to see the landing rates of all the pilots. Hopefully we're working on it. We don't know when a timeline is, but hopefully pretty soon we'll be able to see the landing rates of all the pilots when they come in, so we could see who's coming in at negative 2,000 feet per minute, or who's coming in at 300 to 500, which is typical in a real STOL competition.
Ooh, that was a nice landing with the 701 from Luke. Looks like 32 feet. Oh my goodness.
32 feet. Congratulations. So Luke is another one of the pilots that was kind of him-hawing about joining. He was, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait. I'll practice, whatever. Well, he came in at the last minute about five competitions ago, and he won his very first competition. I think he's been getting second and first place ever since. So if you're on the line about joining and you think you need some more bush practice, you don't need more bush practice. You need more eSTOL practice. So join up, nationalstol.com/chat. And who was that? Bradley Payne? I think this is a new flyer with us.
Yep. That was Bradley with a 50-foot landing for a combined score of 108.
Great. He must not have given up much on that landing and got her stopped real short.
Yeah, 58-foot takeoff and a 50-foot landing. So, I mean, doing a great job.
Yeah, combined, actually, Luke C. So Luke C's total was what? Oh, I've got to switch over here. Look at me on the wrong page.
Are you good? You're good.
Got to switch over here.
58.
58
for Luke C.
Total. Yeah, 26 and 32. So Luke Carrier in first place in the 701 with a 58-foot landing. Did we have an update on the winds cam? I think you said we did, but I'm not sure. I can also look it up if you don't have it pulled up anymore, because I got the internet right here.
We haven't had an update, but the last that we had was winds were out of the 270 at 8 knots, so 270 directly out of the west at 8 knots. Broken ceiling at 6,500. Visibility is 10 miles. Temp is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew point of 54. Oh yeah,
Pete
that was
C.
a great takeoff.
Sponsored pilot from Parallel 42, sponsored by the developer themselves, with a great takeoff. Really preloading it almost. It almost reminds me of playing like MX versus ATV back in the day, and like really trying to nail in that preload. He kind of gets the momentum going forward, and then drops the flaps and yanks it back. Now you're seeing the NX Cub here. This is a freeware mod. Payware if you're on Xbox. They don't have free stuff in the Xbox store per se. A couple free things, but not much. So it's a $4.99 in the Xbox or Microsoft Store, or you can get it for free at got-friends.com/burstix. But that NX Cub has nitrous in it, so I'm surprised we don't see more people fly that. I think if somebody mastered it, they could do really well in it, and I think we're probably going to see that out of Zach. He's been practicing quite a bit. Wow,
That's ridiculous.
20-foot
feet.
takeoff. So
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to give too much away, but the 701, okay, I think the 701's maybe been taking some steroids or something like that. But I've got a little surprise coming up for the 701 pretty soon. So don't worry, guys. The 701 is a little unrealistic at this point. You really wouldn't see that short of a takeoff in real life. But don't worry, we have a little medicine coming for that plane soon enough.
Oh wow. Another short takeoff.
Now the 701 is great. We love the 701, and but we just want to make it. We want to help make it a little more realistic after we've tried twice to get this thing down to where it should be. But it's been a little hard to tame. The 701 just doesn't want to, It wants to be the best. It's hard to get it to go down a little bit. So we do have 7 knots of wind, like you said there. Windy.com, is that what all the pilots are using? I think the pilots are all using windy.com from what I know.
Windy.com is it's the place to be for sure. I mean, you can get ceiling predictions days in advance. I mean, there's a lot to offer from windy.com. I use it. I don't use it exclusively, but I definitely use it, and it's a great app, or the website itself. Awesome.
Kimmy Canoe from the YouTube says, "Let's go, Zach. Zachy Wacky." Kimmy Canoe must be, I think that's maybe that's Zach's sister or Zach's cousin. I think they had something to do with the livery. They got cheese livery, if I remember correctly. And floating it in.
Giving up a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, if Pete can land it on the numbers, we would probably see
64 feet.
It's still a good landing, but it's not going to beat the 701.
Yeah.
If he could land absolutely. It on, if he could snipe it in there on the line, yeah, definitely, probably going to be competitive. So Pete, we gotta have you land it, just like 1 foot over the line. You think you could do that, Pete? I think Pete can do it.
I think Pete can do it.
Monster NX Cub coming in. Me? Oh man,
listening. Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
anyone, but not me. Maybe a scratch for Zach, possibly.
Right.
Maybe a scratch. I don't know for sure. It's hard for me to tell, So the guys that do the scoring, they have their little secrets to the scoring. They have their little methods of how they can view the scoring a little bit easier than we can. So it's harder for us to see because our grass is a little longer. Nice shot of the 701 coming in with a checkerboard on those leading edge slats. Shader dropping it in. Shader is practiced, but
could be a scratch. Landed on the eSTOL logo.
Yeah, scratched by about 10 feet.
Scratch.
Plus, they had in the simulator, the wind is like it is in real life, right? So it's very close to what it actually is if you were standing out in this very same place. And now the simulator, Microsoft Flight Simulator, is the largest open world, one-to-one world. It is the Earth. And so it's the largest simulator that presents the Earth as is. And so you could stand out here in this very same place in real life and feel the wind blowing at your face at 7 knots from the west. And so they're experiencing the same thing that you would experience in real life. So it's possible that maybe Shader had a little bit of a wind die down there.
Yeah,
coming in
like it dropped out from him.
Bradley Payne.
Bradley, 29 feet. I mean,
that's good. That's really good.
These numbers are nothing to sneeze at by any means. I mean, these are amazing numbers from these aircraft. If we were watching this live, like in real life at the field, I mean, there would definitely be some hooping and hollering going on.
Yeah, and the thing is, everybody in chat, they're all hooting and hollering as it is, but we just can't hear them because they're in the chat. Maybe we got to get them to send us like some canned applause, you know what I mean? But like it's actually them though, not just like some fake stuff,
Yeah, I mean that was what was super awesome about the Flight Sim Expo.
Flight Sim Expo.
yeah, being able to hear everybody out there just yelling and having a
It
great
was
time.
so
And it's like,
cool.
oh, that's normal for me because I come from the outside, like the regular National Stole side. So we hear the crowd, but to hear it indoors and realize like, oh, wait a minute, normally everyone's at home and you don't hear this. It was an exhilarating experience for sure.
Yes, definitely. Little preload
Oh wow.
takeoff from Pete.
Yeah.
Hey, we have some people hooting and hollering over on the Twitch channel. Who's gonna hoot and holler more? YouTube or Twitch? I don't know.
As a 28-foot takeoff from Pete.
I think Twitch gets a little wild at times, especially on my channel. I mean, we try to keep it under control, but
Oh, yeah.
S- uh,
Seem to get a little
Squirrel
wild.
Squirrel asked a good question a little bit back. He said over on the Twitch, he said, "Why do the wheels never rotate?" Well, that would be to do with the multiplayer issues in Microsoft Flight Sim, I would imagine. Now, there probably are some developers in chat that may know more about that at this point, but I would imagine it's got to be something to do with multiplayer. Um, Parallel 42 over on the YouTube channel says, "Let's go, Pete." Parallel 42, the maker of the Kit Fox and many other great things for the sim like Flow and Sim Effects. Oh man, if you guys have not seen Sim Effects yet, oh, I love it. Sim Effects makes every plane and every helicopter much better. Even a helicopter that was made years before Sim Effects ever even came around, or a plane that was made years before Sim Effects ever came around, which is really cool because you can purchase Sim Effects and then it retroactively makes even your old planes better
Oh,
by
that's
adding a lot
awesome.
of like dust features and thrust and all kinds of stuff. It even gets crazy if you're an airliner kind of guy. It even gets crazy with the airliners. It's made me get into flying the A320 a little bit just to see the effects. Which, you know me, I am not an A320 guy.
Me neither. It's okay. That was a 91-foot takeoff from Bradley.
So let's recap the scores while they're coming back around real quick.
Yeah.
What do you see out here? Who's winning, Cam?
Yeah. So right now in the lead, we have Luke Carrier, Luke C with the 58-foot combined. After him, we've got Bradley with 74 feet combined. Pete C
Pete coming in.
79. Oh yeah,
The
and
wigwags.
Zach
He's
with
gonna drop it right in.
120.
Oh my
Wow,
god! A little bit of just
that
2 feet, 2, 3 feet further, man, and he would have had us. Oh my gosh, dude!
man,
That would
it's
have
like he
been
heard you. It's totally
that
like
would
he
have been
heard you.
eight
He's going for
feet,
that one
man.
foot. Oh my
That's a
goodness.
really interesting approach. I've not seen that attempt yet, and I don't think Edson knew this at the time, but when he released that Kit Fox without the cowling on it, there was like 2 months where I had it and I was flying it like every day. I don't think he intended for me to get it as early, but there was a couple things that led to the release being pushed out a little bit longer due to updates in the flight simulator. So I got it to try out. We were flying it on the stream and stuff a little early release action, and so I got a good 2 months of flying that thing, and I'm not even anywhere close to as good as Pete in it, man.
Got cheese, lawn darting it in with the NX Cub. That's a 78-foot landing.
78 foot from the cheese
78
master
feet.
himself.
That's his shortest landing at 108 combined, or his shortest score with 108 combined.
Shortest score altogether, 108. Luke Carrier leading the pack, coming in the 701. Nice
I think these
controlled
nose
descent.
wheel planes are the
He's not
masters
scratching
of
this
lawn
time.
darting it in.
And there he
Yeah,
goes. Total ground roll of about 2.5 feet or so.
yeah. 37 feet
But
on that landing.
yeah, 37 feet, because you got to remember, you got to add on whatever from the edge of the line, the forward edge of the line, to where your tires stop. That's how the score is counted.
But that 2 feet was that was pretty cool. And we got Bradley coming in.
A little
Little
bit.
burble there.
Yes, a little sideways on the wing, but really, really nice landing. Didn't.
Oh, oh
Oh, and a
no!
nose over. That's okay, man. It happens
Oh,
sometimes. Nose overs
it does
happen.
happen sometimes.
I like seeing the nose overs. It makes it a little exciting.
It does make it exciting. I'm glad
But
that
it
these
does
are
raise.
not real aircraft. That it doesn't have to. You don't have to go back and break down, tear down your engine for a nose over.
Yeah, no, yeah. In real life, it's terrible, but it does add a little excitement in the sim. Even though we'd like to see everybody
Absolutely.
fly safe. I mean, we do strive for that. And as the guys taxi off the field, it looks like the 701 is the leader again. So we must have two heats here because I'm still missing. Where's Cat Blue Flame?
Oh
Um,
yeah, we've got Norcali, Cat Blue, Nicholas, and Aaron that are coming up in this next heat.
oh, Nicholas Folda. Okay, Folda. Great dude. He's new flyer with eSTOL. This is his first match, first competition in eSTOL. So Nicholas Folda coming in fresh off the press.
And if
Oh
you're looking at
wow,
what I'm looking at, you're looking at, oh my goodness, I'm looking at Brendan Corns. Oh wow. Okay, is that Brendan
dang.
Corns 205 on the screen right now? Like,
Yeah, I
let's
think the
go.
nice.
Oh, that is one of my favorite aircraft from the National STOL competition series. Like that, he commands that 205 like it is nobody's business. He's
And
such an awesome pilot.
that's a rather
A
heavy
rather
aircraft
large
too, isn't it?
aircraft. Yes, large and
Yeah.
heavy aircraft for this competition series, and he commands it like he owns it essentially. And if you want to command your own aircraft, feel free to join us by going to nationalstol.com/chat to volunteer or fly with eStol. You can join us here on the broadcast and we can say your name and your aircraft. And if you have some friends that can build you a great livery, then maybe we can get that attached to your favorite aircraft. But yeah, come join us. Especially on the
Yeah, I think
volunteer side, we
that's.
can always use more people.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's one of the interesting things for the STOL competitions here is that a lot of the pilots do make their own liveries. And you'll see as they go on through, if you take a look at Kat's aircraft, she's got stickers from most of the competitions. I know she had a couple technical difficulties during one or two of them where she wasn't able to make it. But they add their they add to their liveries as they go and kind of customize them to the places they've been in the simulator. And so you get a kind of a mixed bag here with eSTOL because there's people that currently fly in real life that are here in the eSTOL competition today. There's people that used to fly that no longer fly. There's people that for whatever reason here nor there they may not be able to fly in real life, and so you kind of get a little bit of everybody. And that's I think what's so interesting about the flight simulator is because it doesn't really matter if you're a real pilot or if you're a current pilot or you've never flown before. I think a lot of it is really welcoming, really welcoming. So if you're one of those people that hasn't tried Microsoft Flight Simulator yet, I mean, you gotta give her a rip.
Yeah, absolutely. I come from not playing to hanging out with all of you at the Flight Sim Expo and buying my controller, getting Microsoft Flight Simulator, like getting all the aircraft and deliveries and the venues, and just jumping in full bore. And now it's me and Kelly Qualls, who is the actual national pilot. He's been talking about joining, and uh, he would be with us today, but actually he just left me probably an hour ago to go sandbar hopping on the Arkansas River. So, in
Well, that
his
sounds like
carbon
fun.
cup. I know, right? A little jealous, just a little bit.
So, so you were saying Kelly Qualls is he's interested in doing the eSTOL competition?
Yeah, he downloaded Microsoft Flight Simulator, and he was telling me yesterday that he's flying with a Xbox controller, and it's awful. But
Oh yeah.
I offered my Yawman to him, so we'll see what happens with that.
Oh, great takeoff from NorCali. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Oh
Some of the
yeah,
real life STOL pilots getting in here and flying, because I think there's pretty good value to it. I mean, if you can get in here and fly at the airport that you're going to be flying at in real life, you can get to know some landmarks and stuff like that. Get to know the runway. They're in the exact same place, you know. So we just take the exact same layout that Tom would use for the real life competition and place it in the sim. Kat lining up. Now, word on the street, Kat is actually a little under the weather, so she hasn't had much time to practice. At this point, I think it's pretty much second nature for Kat, though. But that's not to rule anything out. I mean, you never know. I mean, Kat is probably one of the best. Sponsored by CRZ Studio. You know what Kat's waiting for? She's waiting for that Dan Reynolds plane. So they're actually... Kat comes back down onto the runway. So that'll add to her score on takeoff. Yeah, she is a little under the weather, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, she's waiting for that...
Take off of 102 on that.
Yep, 102, and because she touched back down, so they had to add a little bit to her score. So she's waiting for that Dan Reynolds, what do they call that? The Chinook.
Yes.
CRZ Studios building that in for the Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I believe that's actually the Chinook that he flies is a lot of influence from him. In the design, I think it's actually called the DR Chinook for Dan Reynolds.
Yeah, and Dan is in some fashion. I know he's spoke with and talked to the developer, so I know they have some contact. And I actually took about 100 pictures of Dan's plane with his permission for CRZ. So it's going to be a really close to real life add-on, if not, almost exactly like real life. And the CRZ guys, I mean, their attention to detail is really, really good. So I'm not sure what's the deal there with the plane that just took off. Fulda, it looks like there might be some model matching issues. Like I said it before, somebody's finally somebody's finally flying the Savage Gravel. I've been saying, fly the Savage Gravel. It's got nitrous. It's really good. Fly it. Nobody has flown it. I think this is the first person to fly it. Aaron Thays, my new favorite eSTOL pilot right there.
Wow. That was a 21-foot takeoff. Straight lift off.
Yeah, the Gravel has nitrous in it. So, I mean, you're looking at a bunch of extra horsepower from the nitrous. But you got to remember to turn the nitrous off. If you don't turn it off, you're gonna be SOL, because you're never gonna get rid of the thrust if you don't turn the nitrous off. Now you only have about 5 minutes of nitrous, but you can get a good 2 rounds in 5 minutes, close to it anyway. All right, NorCali coming in the Savage Carbon, made by Got Friends, a spin-off of the Savage Carbon.
Oh. Looks like a scratch.
I think it's good. I think he.
Oh, is that good?
He hovered it. I think so. I'm gonna say it's good. What do I know? But I'm gonna say it's good. I think he held it off.
No, I'm not seeing any. I think the judges agree with you. Okay, there we go.
So NorCali hops up into fourth
52
place.
52 feet.
52 feet. Cat's coming in. Now, characteristically, we saw Kat touch back down onto the runway. We've never seen Kat do this before, but I don't put her out. I don't take her out of the competition just yet. She's very sick though. She came into Discord last night, and I could barely understand what she was saying because she was so stuffed up. She really sticks the landing though. A little bit of a bounce there. That bounce is a little more dramatic than it actually is. So. It's not that dramatic. Like what the pilot is seeing in the simulator is not as dramatic. That bounce is just dramatized because of multiplayer issues. So, but the good part about that is Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is going to be releasing pretty soon, and then we'll have to take some time to transition over to that, which may take a little while. But I think a lot of those multiplayer issues are going to disappear with Flight Sim 2024, and I'm excited about that because. Why not have more realism in the eSTOL competitions?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 25-foot landing from Cap.
Shouts out to everybody out on the YouTube channels. Don't forget to smack that thumbs up button. And over on the Twitch channel, don't forget to hit that follow button so you guys know when we go live. We do group flights 4 nights a week. So come on in and hang out in the group flights. We do all kinds of stuff. And about every 6 weeks, we do STOL competition here. Organized.
Oh.
Kind of a little bit
that
of
was an awesome landing.
kind of a little bit of a... See, I think he's in a tail dragger, and I think this is, again, where that multiplayer strikes again. Now,
Okay.
this is one of those issues where... what are they... Basically, the ICAO of the plane, or the ICAO of the plane, is the same as about 5-6 other planes in the flight simulator. So it's one of those things where it's got to be something to do with that, because typically you don't see it's showing up as a different plane. Let's just put it simply so I don't babble on about it for 4 hours. Simply put, you're not seeing the exact same plane that they're flying. They're actually in a tail dragger. And scratch and a nose over for Aaron. It is his first competition, so that 20-foot takeoff was really good. Love the livery, by the way. The 20-foot takeoff is really good, but he is going to nose over on the landing. So I think with that, if I can give any tip to that, I think basically he kind of rushed the landing to get it down, right? He didn't want to land too far over the line, so he kind of rushed the nose down, leading to that, forward momentum and the weight being thrown forward like that. That's what's going to cause the nose over there. And so a couple things you could do to kind of mitigate that for next time, because this is Aaron's first time in here, and so we want to congratulate him for trying and make sure he gets better and better every time. So a couple things you could do: just kind of take it a little slower on the landing, and then just give up the few feet, because you're still going to land. Is better than still landing and keeping in the competition rather than getting disqualified is better in the long run. So Norcali taking off in the Savage Carbon. Norcali is a longtime competitor. He's got I think he's got 1 first place under his belt and a couple second places under his belt. Super big proponent of STOL. Love to have him on the eSTOL pilots roster. He's a great competitor and a good friend.
It's an awesome guy too.
Yep, good friend of the channel. Cat Sticker's there.
Yeah.
She's been to a lot of competitions. Oh, did she touch again?
Oh.
I wonder why she's doing that today. I mean, no harm, no foul. Like I said, we know she's not feeling good, but it's the second time in a row we've seen that kind of that up and down from Cat.
Yeah, and that's going to be a 97-foot takeoff. So yeah, that's a little uncharacteristic.
So she did touch back
probably
down
pulling
again.
The stick. Yeah, probably pulling the stick a little bit too early.
Yeah, they call that a pilot-induced oscillation, something like that.
A little porpoising there, yeah, something like that for sure.
I think Blanco Lirio calls them kablamos. So I think that's actually incorrect. So Nicholas Folda, it's saying that he's in the Monster NX Cub. So either he's flying the wrong plane, or we have the wrong plane listed, because definitely, like I said before, it's the model matching thing, and there's nothing we can do about it. But so he is flying a tail dragger, and it almost seems like he's flying maybe the Red Bull Cub or something. Or maybe just even the regular X Cub from the base simulator.
So it does say that the color should be Red Bull, but it also does say that it should be the Monster NX. So I'm a little confused myself.
Yeah, those are two different planes. That's a clerical error on top of the Buki IKO.
Yeah. I do like seeing the NX with its nose up, like it is actually a tail dragger.
So Terrible Guitarist said he thinks he's in the red the Red Bull Cub, and wouldn't be a Bursix TV stream, even when it's National eSTOL, if I didn't say that I had my chat paused for the last 5 minutes. So I wasn't seeing any new chats. Now I'm realizing there's been a bunch of chats the whole time. So if I missed anything, man, it wasn't on purpose. NorCali coming in. Another case of the CC19 IKO. Strikes again.
Oh,
he's not
was-
actually in that livery.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful landing.
Yes, gorgeous landing. That's NorCali's real livery there. Zybok DK says, "Hey, Bursix TV over on the Twitch channel. Welcome, Zybok. Thanks for coming in, man."
That's a 64-foot landing from NorCali. For a combined of 96 feet. And Kat getting some love in the chat, looks like.
Yeah, she is a fan favorite. Kat is a fan favorite for sure.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful landing. We have for Cat. Oh, that is a scratch for Cat. Okay.
Yeah, Kat is not feeling herself today, but she's still out here trying, and you got to give her some credit for that. So Fulda coming in with a good landing. I don't think he scratched on it, so he's getting some points on the board. I mean, that's important because Fulda can still get consistency points. Whether it's possible, I don't know. As far as his landings go, I haven't checked to see how consistent they were. But I mean, he's doing great. You know, he's doing great. It's his first time in here. We'd love to see new people come in. It is unfortunate though, as we saw in the chat a few minutes ago. Super Tom said, "Poor Fulda, the competition in model, first competition in model matching got him." Yeah, and that's just a plain choice thing. I think, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I if I was going to compete, I would stay away from planes that have model matching issues. You know, and it may be something to look over and consider that we get these planes out of here until they're you know, correctly handled correctly. Owl Girl says it looks so good over from the YouTube channel. Thanks for being here, Owl Girl. NorCali with a real short takeoff in the Carbon Cub. Cat pulling up to the
30
line.
feet in that takeoff.
I can't help but to feel a little bit sad watching Cat pull up to the line after hearing how sick she was yesterday. I'm like, man, Cat is a trooper. She's here. I can't even believe she's here. But you know what? She's accrued all those stickers for a reason, because she comes to every darn competition, and by golly, she'll be at this one too, you know? There she goes. No. There she goes. There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Damn, were you crossing your fingers too, or what?
Oh yeah, man. I was hoping, absolutely.
You'll see down in the bottom there, parallel 42, and Toby eye tracking. Wonderful eye trackers. If you guys don't have an eye tracker yet, Toby eye tracker is the absolute best. I've had it since I think the first week I started flying in the flight simulator. I bought a Toby and I've never looked back. It's the smoothest. You don't have to wear anything on your head. You just plug it in. It downloads everything for you, and you're good to go. Toby eye tracker, big sponsor for us, helping us get to Flight Sim Expo and having the in-person competition there. So thank you to Toby. We love him, and I love my Toby. I wouldn't fly without it. Fulda pulling up to the line, getting ready to take off. You know, with 100 140 or so feet, 150 or so feet. I'm honestly thinking that Fulda might actually be Nicholas Fulda. I think he's got to be in one of the base cubs, because any other cub,
Yeah.
I mean, we know guaranteed it's a tail dragger just because of the way that the model is sitting. It's a nose wheel aircraft that's showing up, but it's sitting on the tail. So,
Yeah.
the takeoff distance, though, it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it's even the Red Bull one, because the Red Bull one has nitrous, and typically you see a little quicker of a takeoff for that. Super Tom asks, is Toby as painful to set up as OpenTrack? No. Toby is literally plug and play. You plug it in, it downloads the what do you call it? The drivers, the Windows drivers automatically. And that's really it. I mean, you plug it in. I think the only thing you really have to do is, put it on your monitor or wherever you're going to place it. Good directions on how to do that too, included in the box. You just plug it in and go to town. It's super easy.
Yeah. We got them set up relatively fast at the expo.
Now there we go. Nice land. Oh, NorCali with a nose over.
Oh no!
I don't think we've ever seen NorCali do that before. He probably dropped his water, or his drink, and he was trying to grab it, and that's why he nosed over. That's got to be. Now I will say this: if your PC has a bunch of remnants of OpenTrack, you may have a little bit of trouble, because OpenTrack leaves little breadcrumbs all over your PC. Oh, great landing from Kat. Good. She might even actually win with that takeoff and landing. Holy. That's why you come into every competition, because even if you can't stick the first two, you might stick the last one. And Owl Girl hooting and hollering in the chat with the woo. Let's go. So Super Tom, yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say is, if you may, when you plug it in, if you have had OpenTrack in the past, there might be some things left over that prevents Microsoft from recognizing the Toby. It doesn't happen often, but it could happen. But if you do purchase a Toby and it does happen, I can tell you exactly how to fix it, because I just fixed it on mine, and I will gladly help anybody. It's a 5-minute fix if you know how to do it. But OpenTrack is really, I had to go into my registry and delete all the OpenTrack files. And this was after I already had my Toby for about 2 years. I downloaded OpenTrack to mess around with something, and I deleted it pretty promptly. Ooh, coming in high.
Wow.
Really landing hard there.
Yeah.
But stops at an 80 feet, not a scratch, so I think I'll take it. Great job from Fulda.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I downloaded OpenTrack later on, after having the Toby for a long time, and I had some issues with Flight Sim not recognizing the Toby after that. But yeah, I had to go into the registry and delete some stuff, and after I figured out how to do it, it took me about 5 minutes. So I'm super open to helping anybody with that. And so if you get a Toby and you're traditionally have used OpenTrack, and just on the off chance that you do have any trouble, call me, text me, whatever it is, Discord me, Verstix TV, you'll find me. I'm out there. Frankie says touching down on the line is a scratch. That is true. I don't know if he did. I guess I didn't pay attention enough to see. Maybe he did. And would you look at that? Cat still takes the first place. Or what are we seeing here? 21-foot takeoff. She almost touched back down. She came about 10 feet from touching back down for the third time. And then she gets a 13-foot landing for 34 feet total with about 10 knots of wind. So Cat, in true Cat style, puts cat food in everybody's shoes. For the distraction, for the win. Cat Blue Flame, Luke Carrier in second place, Bradley Payne in third place, Pete C in fourth place, NorCali J in fifth place, Nicholas Fulda coming in sixth place, and I think Nick still gets some season points in that 6th place spot. I'm almost positive he does. Either way, he had a good time today. First competition for him. First competition for Bradley, as far as I know. Great job, everybody. And one more class coming up. We have the Spec class, and after that, we'll be on to the next one.
Looking for a more affordable entry into bush plane flying? How about paramotoring, aka the dirt bike of the sky? Paramotoring STOL is the next best thing, and this adventure motor that you wear on your back is your ticket to getting airborne quick. At Aviator Paramotor, our 2-week training takes you from zero to hero.
Sunrise this morning, it was beautiful. There was a thin layer of fog flying. It's just like all the stress and all that kind of just floats away. It's really peaceful.
From no experience to feeling confident and competent flying on your own. Let the team at Aviator Paramotor in Lake Wales, Florida teach you your new superpower of running into the sky. Classes are filling up quick, but there are spots available today, so call now. Side effects include, but not limited to, significant life changes, foot drags, ear-to-ear smiles. Find the extreme freedoms of ripping around the skies in your new adventure motor with friends.
All right, we're back with some more STOL at Appalachian Mountain eSTOL live from Pennsylvania in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We just had the Unlimited class, and we had kind of a crazy happening. Kat came back from the dead and won it by about 20 feet. So the takeoff, I couldn't believe it. I thought she was going to hit the ground again and add more onto her score, but the last minute she pulled up and pulled out into the sky, came back for a 12-foot landing. So Kat takes home another gold and holds on to her lead for the season. I'm near positive Kat's leading for the season. Speaking of that, I need to get the season standing points. I got to get those season standing points and figure out who actually is leading, but I'm almost positive it is Kat.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's all the cat food she puts in everybody's shoes. She's weighing everybody else down. If that wet cat
Man,
food
I'm
too,
telling
that's
you,
what it is.
It's the wet cat food. It's the secret.
I think
All right,
Montana,
the spec
dude.
class.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Cam.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
So in the spec class, we have North Cali in the Kit Fox. We've got Cat in the. This is all Kit Fox class. Okay. So everyone's in the Kit Fox 915 IS. So we got North Cali, Cat, Ryan Runkle, Bradley, and John.
Yep, this is all the same plane. So everybody has the fair shake. Everybody's going to be doing their own skill level. The plane doesn't matter because everybody's got the same plane. It's all about the skill and a little bit of luck with the wind, I would say. What do you say, Cam? Do you think the wind has a big play in it? Or do you think it kind of evens out if you do more than just one competition?
No, I absolutely agree. I think the wind has a substantial. It makes a substantial choice in who wins and who doesn't win, because we've seen people like when you see Dan Reynolds and Steve Henry go toe to toe. We've seen the wind drop out from Steve. We've seen the wind drop out from Dan and them scratch. So I mean, yeah, the wind is the luck. I would say is the luck portion of what we're seeing today and what we see in National STOL.
So this class brought to you by DOF Reality and Parallel 42 with the Kit Fox. We're using only the base Kit Fox. So this is the Kit Fox that anybody has, no matter what Kit Fox package they have. If you have it's got to be Parallel 42, of course. But no matter which Kit Fox package you have, whether you have just the regular lower tier Kit Fox that's available, the single one in the store, or if you have the complete Kit Fox pack with the Trent Palmer one, everybody that has the Kit Fox from Parallel 42 has the same plane. So we wanted to make it as fair as possible for everybody. And that's what the goal is with the spec class, is to bring it down to one plane, 6 pilots, 12 pilots, who knows. We've had 12 in the past. I think we have 5 in the class right now. So we have the base Kit Fox. You're going to see probably a little bit longer takeoff and landings, but that's not where the fun lies. The fun lies within how close do these pilots get to each other. How close are they going to get? Now, who do we have in the class? We have Norcali J, longtime STOL pilot. We talked about him a lot today. Cat Blue Flame, she's already won her class in the Unlimited. Ryan Runkle, I think he's a new pilot. Bradley Payne, new pilot. And John Coughlin, new pilot. So I think it's 3 new pilots joining in today. I love to see everybody, man. The new pilots, the old pilots. I love to see everybody continue to come back and compete, because it means that we're doing something to make this enjoyable for you guys. So happy to see you guys come back, and we really appreciate you guys. And I hope you guys are having a great time with the STOL. It looks like everybody is. I mean, they're always practicing and everything, so it's really interesting. And going with the 3-point takeoff, touched back down though, so that's going to be a little longer. Looks like Norcali may have had his trim nose forward. When he pulled up like that, it looked like his trim tab maybe was pushed forward somehow.
Okay, yeah. And there's no guessing with who this is, but we do know it's Cat with the extreme livery going on. Now, I can't tell, but does she have stickers all over this aircraft as well?
Nope, these are stock liveries only, so you can use any livery that's available with the Kit Fox, which there's a ton of them. The newest update that just came out, there's a ton of liveries available. So
Okay.
all these are base liveries. You got a Trent Palmer livery out there.
And
The wigwag
had
lights.
a 121 foot takeoff, and Cat Blue Flame had 117. Let's see what Ryan produces. $86 feet.
Super.
Okay, Ryan's got the takeoffs down for sure.
Good, yeah. 86 feet is great. So Super Tom in the Twitch chat says, does the Sportster Kit Fox compete too? No, the Sportster Kit Fox is not in the competition. It is actually, it's pretty much abandonware at this point. I've tried to reach out to the developer to get them to work on it. I since released a modification for it to make it flyable, but it's still, I mean, you know, I think I made it good enough to where it's, I did it by the numbers, so it should be realistic enough to fly it, but I don't know if anybody would fly that over the Parallel 42 one, and especially since the developer pretty much gave up on the plane. It's just tough to add something like that because you can't get any support for it. Oh.
Nope.
Looks like we have a little bit of a sputter there.
Yeah.
John Coughlin. I think he's still going to try the
He's gonna
takeoff.
take off from now. All right.
His hands were sweaty from that other round he did in the 170B.
Yeah.
He's still sweating from that round.
And that's a 138-foot takeoff with Bradley having a 137, a 137-foot takeoff. So new guys are competing pretty closely.
Coming
Except
in,
for Ryan
NorCali
Reynolds,
J.
86-foot. Oh, yeah. Oh, I believe that is a scratch.
What'd you see there, Cam? I didn't see it. Scratch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just saw it pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
Cam, what do you
I
think,
saw some
man? What do you
tires.
think?
Oh,
Who's got
talking
this
about
one in the bag?
this-
Are we gonna go
Yeah,
Cat
you know,
again?
it's-
Are we gonna?
I want to go with Cat, but Ryan looks like a stiff competition for
I
Cat.
mean, he did-
86 speed is
Yeah. He's got her by almost
We'll see
40
what
feet,
happens with the
35.
landing, so.
Cat Blue Flame flying out of England, coming in a little under the weather today, but she says I don't care. And trying to get her
Oh.
stopped. Trying to get her stopped. There she goes. 80 foot, 81-ish. She's got the okay from the score guy.
That was a scratch, unfortunately.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
I guess.
I thought I saw it hit the line, but I didn't want to say anything until I got the confirmation.
Maybe I need to push my glasses up a little further because I didn't even see it. But I mean, I believe the judges over my own view on this anyway. Maybe that was a scratch too. Now that I'm looking at it.
Looking at that
Wow.
front quartering view, that front 45, that did look like a scratch, but we'll see. Looks like the judges are. Yeah, that's a scratch.
Wow. So all
Okay.
rounds so far have been a scratch. So NorCali, Cat. Well, it looks like Ryan's was scored, so it wasn't a scratch, but he's sitting out at about 268 feet total, and we're gonna have a go around from Bradley
Go
Payne. He
around?
decides to go around.
Okay. I thought everyone was following suit for a second for scratching on the landings.
Terrible Guitar says he's surprised to see that out of Cat and Callie. Well, you got to think they are the veterans, but they don't ever fly the Kit Fox. They're both invested in their own planes, and so that's, I think, the beauty of the Spec class. Another scratch if he touched. He may not have touched the ground. It depends on what the judges say, because he could have skimmed the grass, but it's possibly another scratch. But, you know, the thing is, they're used to flying their own planes, and that's the thing about the Spec classes. It throws a little monkey wrench in everybody's, they practice so hard, but they don't know what the Spec class is going to be until, sometimes 4 to 2 weeks before the competition. And we do it that way. So that way people have, kind of excitement about practicing something new, And by the way, developers, if you're out there and you want to get your plane featured, reach out to me and talk to me about getting your plane featured on the Spec class. We're always looking for new planes to go on to the Spec class. So if you think your plane, even if it's not a super STOL plane, I mean, really it can be almost anything that's not as big as like a C-130 or something, or But it could be any GA plane really. So reach out to me, and if I find your plane interesting and it's accurate, we'll definitely take a look at throwing it on there. I would love to talk to some developers about getting their plane on here, and so new releases, stuff like that. Feel free to get a hold of me. Touched back down. Norcali might want to check his trim. I think maybe his trim it's almost like he's nosing back down as soon as he pulls off. I wonder if
in that
maybe
distance,
Norcali
you shouldn't have an issue.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
Norcali
I'm
and
starting to
Cat,
suspect you're right.
maybe they have conspired to let let the three new guys win. No. maybe like a round or two to psych them out, but I know Cat and Norcali are competitive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Galaxy saying, "Oh my God, nice Cat first." Yes. Let's go, Cat.
So who's actually in the lead then? I guess it's John. No, I guess Ryan.
It's Ryan.
So Ryan's in the lead with 272. John second place with 283. There's 12. Well, if I could do my math correctly, about 9 feet separating them, or 11 feet separating them.
Yeah.
Good takeoff from Ryan. As you can hear in the background, the Kit Fox slightly idling there in the background. The sounds of the, I think it's the 912 actually.
Yeah. It is very authentic sounding. I nailed it.
Super Tom Norcali said he's one flap. I'm full trim back, by the way. Not sure what that means, Tom.
I think he's saying first notch of flaps, full trim, full nose up trim. If that's if I'm understanding.
Yeah, but I mean,
correctly.
yeah, but I mean, he says I'm full trim back. Is Super Tom competing? That's what I'm wondering if Super Tom is. I don't think he's competing. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, Tom. Okay, gotcha. Tom just got the word. So Tom's like the news anchor. He just got the scoop from Cali. He's full trim. So Norcali's one flap, 1 degree of flaps, or well, 1 notch of flaps, and full trim back. Okay, that's what. Okay, Tom. Thank you for clarifying that, man. Sometimes I take things too literally. Terrible guitarist says, yes, the Little Tykes dump truck spec class. So I was talking about developers getting their planes in. Well, there's actually been a Little Tykes dump truck put into the sim recently by one of the viewers in the channel right now. So it's like a flyable dump truck. And you can fly it in Microsoft Flight Sim.
And it's a Little Tykes? I mean, like, we got to.
Yeah.
We have to.
Now we just need a Tonka, and then we can have the Tonka and the Little Tykes dump trucks going up against each other. It's kind of funny, though, because you see a lot of these, Microsoft Flight Simulator, most of it, 99% of it is very serious planes. Everything's realistic. But it is fun when you get some of these different kind of planes, well, dump trucks, I guess. There's all kinds of different things like that. There's flyable donuts, flyable pieces of pizza. I'm still waiting for the Battlefield 3 flyable couch. No one's done that yet. Looks as if we had a early scratch there. Saved it from the nose over, though. So I think Cat has used up all her juice. Her cat juice has run out.
The cat food is dry.
Yes, the cat food is dry. Nice steady approach from Ryan Runkle out of Pennsylvania. Comes in, lands a little over the line, but stays safe on the scratch. Gets it stopped pretty good. 150 feet or so.
Okay, that was 170 and no scratch. Looks like, yeah.
Wash Crank joining in over on the Twitch channel. flight sim streamer out of Germany. Hello, Washcrank. How are you doing today, man? Thanks for coming in, buddy. Safe on the landing.
Mm-hmm.
Bobbling a little bit, but stopped respectively. John Coughlin, flying out of Wisconsin,
162.
United States. Cam, you said that was 162?
Yeah, 162 on that landing to match Cat's landing of 162 as well.
So, exactly, to the T. 162 and 162. NorCali J flying out of Eureka, California. That's why they call him NorCali. Eureka's up there quite a ways up there north in Northern California. NorCali also a flight sim streamer, so I want to make sure that we give these these nods, these shout outs to the flight sim streamers, because there's not a lot that do bush. So it's great to see NorCali doing the bush flights. Only a few other people that do group flights and bush aircraft flying on flight simulators, so we have to rep those people because they're the ones that are bringing eSTOL out there into the world. I can't just be one person. We gotta have the help of all the streamers, man. So we appreciate you guys.
Gotta have the STOL Air Force.
That's right. Nice takeoff. Maybe. Oh, there he goes. She goes.
Yeah.
That's Cat. J Brown 4692 says howdy from Kansas. Howdy from Arkansas, everybody. Oh, J Brown's near where you're at, Cam.
Yeah, Jay Brown, I'm sitting at the FBO in Russellville, at the Russellville Airport right now. So hopefully you're close by. Yeah, you can see everything going on in the background.
Yeah, what's you in the FBO or what is that?
I'm just sitting in the FBO.
It's kind of funny. It kind of looks like a classroom. Of course, they probably do have some classes there for flight school or something.
Yeah. This is one of the conference rooms. Got a nice little whiteboard in front of me.
That's cool. Airports are super chill. When I was in flight school, you'd go in there in the morning and there'd be the same group of guys. They're most mornings having coffee and donuts, just chilling, hanging out, talking about aviation.
Hangar rats, man, the best people.
Yes. Squirrel says 2 of the 3 I know are from California: Cali, Grims, and Ucandu. Ucandu is not from California.
Oh.
Ucandu is from Georgia. So Ucandu is from Georgia. Nice takeoff from John Coughlin. I love when they focus in on the plane flying off like that. It just looks like the real thing,
Sounds like it too. I love the sound that they have for it, like leaving, like the Doppler effect, essentially. It sounds pretty true to form, especially today, since I've actually been hearing those type of aircraft flying away from me.
Yeah, so there's a new developer, Echo 19 Audio. They've been doing audio for a lot of the jets and warbirds and stuff in the sim. I actually started working with them. I'm going to be working on sound packs with them and kind of doing like an apprentice thing. I started learning the sound program for flight sim, and so in talking to Echo 19, he needs another guy, so I'm going to be partnering up with him and working on stuff like that, because we're building Fiesler Storch, a high fidelity Fiesler Storch, and I want to make sure it has beautiful sounds in it, because
nice.
Sounds are so immersive to the flight sim. Nice landing, NorCali J, and just over 140 feet or something like that. NorCali J in the lead right now with 229, John C 259, Ryan R with 272, so pretty close. 45 feet or so separating everybody, 47 feet. Cat's coming in. I think Cat has scratched both times, so here's her last shot. And if she can land in 100 feet, she might have this. Jay Brown said he's in Heber Springs. I'm not sure how close Heber Springs is to you, Cam.
Okay, yeah, that's relatively close. Probably an hour or so. Maybe a little bit less for the flight. All right, Kat, keeping it safe.
And she did.
Gave
She
up
landed
a little.
under 100 foot. Galaxy says, yes, let's go, kitty. So, Kat,
Right.
yeah, I think that's going to take the lead. I mean, with her takeoff of 91 feet, she landed in probably 95
87.
feet or so. 87, wow. Yeah, so that should pull
Wow.
away for the lead. That leaves...
That does. Yep, she's in the lead.
That leaves Ryan. He needs about a 60-foot or less landing. Bradley Payne did DQ. I think it was a nose over,
Yeah.
if I remember
Nose
right.
over on the landing, I believe. Yeah, nose over on landing.
Yeah, and then, I mean, John Coughlin, it's his first competition as well. 138 feet on the first takeoff, 97 feet on the second takeoff, 152 on the third. His landings, however, are more consistent, 145 and 162. But he would have to land in like 8 feet, and it's just not going to be possible. But he does get down.
Wow,
Does get down safely, and gotta hand it to John. John, I think, as a brand new pilot, performing in that 170B going up against Red Baron, I mean, I think his scores there were great. So, John, I think we'll be seeing a lot more from John in the future. Bradley, Ryan, also new pilots with us, all showing really good skill today. So amazing to see all these new pilots coming in. And like I said, man, you know, it's we make it easy for new pilots to come in. We provide training, we provide a community where everybody can come hang out. So if you're interested in National STOL, whether it be competing or volunteering, maybe you want to run a drone camera when one of our drone camera guys isn't there. Maybe you want to just join the conversation. Come on in, nationalstol.com/chat. Appalachian Mountain eSTOL, presented by DOF Reality. The best full motion simulators and at the best price. DOFreality.com. I got a chance to ride in one of those. I got a chance to sit in one of those and fly an F-18 at Expo. It was absolutely amazing, and I am absolutely saving up to get one.
All right, and for the
So
spec class, we've got Cat Blue Flame in first place with a combined total of 178 feet. Norcali J with 229 in second place. John Coughlin with 259 in third place. And Ryan Runkle with 272 in fourth place. Once again, Cat shows us that she's got cat scratch fever, even though she's sick.
She's got that cat scratch fever, and she's got that cat food in the shoes. Thanks for coming, guys. We appreciate you guys more than you know, hanging out with us at eSTOL. Always a good time. Cam, thanks for coming here and casting with me today. I love casting with you. Love getting to know you in real
My
life
pleasure,
too, man.
Austin.
It's a blast seeing you at Expo. I'm going to Expo
We'll
again
see you
next
at the
year,
next
man.
one. Oh, yeah,
That's
me
right.
too.
Hey,
Me
guys,
too.
we'll see you on the next episode. 6 weeks or so. We'll get you. We'll see you then. Peace.
See ya.
Hey, it's Trent. Fly low, don't die.